Welcome to The Perspective, a podcast hosted by Mackenzie Gooley, aiming to answer three main questions. What is mental health? Why is it important? And just how does it affect us on a daily basis? This week's special guest is an undergraduate student from the University of South Dakota. Kate has offered to help answer a few of our most basic questions in order to help us gauge where some of our college students may be at when it comes to thinking about mental health.
What are your thoughts and opinions on mental health as far as like maybe taking care of yourself or just in general? Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think mental health is a super big thing. I know that having good mental health makes for better living. So like if you can't not like take care of yourself, because mental health is bigger than just taking care of yourself. But if you can't have like the basic fundamentals of like stereotypically being okay and being all right in the head, then things kind of fall.
In regards to mental health, there are a lot of stigmas around it. What are some of the stigmas you see in your daily life?
I would say a stigma that I see is definitely being thought of like lesser of a person, or like something's wrong with you if you have mental health issues. Because like, you know, we're supposed to be perfect and functioning, and things aren't supposed to be wrong with us. And then like the stigma behind it, I kind of feel is that something's wrong with us, but like we can't let people know that there's something wrong with us.
Do you see that stigma with people as far as like more in children, more in adults, or?
I wouldn't say the stigma affects age. I would say the stigma is pretty consistent. Maybe if you're a child, it's not like you're too young to have a mental health issue or something kind of on that lines. The older you get, I think it's more accepted, and like people realize that mental health is a thing. It's definitely gendered. I would say if a female has, or a stereotypical female has a mental health issue, it's more okay. And like it's bad, but it's okay to have a mental health issue. But if you're a guy, like it's totally shut down. Definitely like conservative states like here.
Okay.
But that's like stereotypical male. Like if you're not like the stereotypical straight guy.
Do you have any final thoughts on any of this?
I mean, I think that mental health is definitely something that is stigmatized in our world. And I think it's definitely something that, I don't know, like, it comes weird, like, it's kind of privileged, if that makes sense, where, like, if you come from a good family, that's another stigma that people don't realize is, like, if you come from a good family, you can still have mental health issues, where sometimes people believe that, or at least I think people believe that mental health is only for people who are less fortunate or have, like, family issues, when, like, you could be perfectly fine, quote-unquote perfectly fine, and still have those issues, like, those mental health issues.
Yeah.
So it's definitely something that, like, everybody should, like, look into, and, like, I believe everybody has a mental health issue to a certain point, whether it's just stress and anxiety or depression or something even more serious. Like, we all have certain, even if it's just a bout of it, that, like, it's very important for us all to understand and live through it.
Yeah, it's a very good point. There's a lot of things people could struggle with that are more under the surface than we realize.
Yeah, a lot of behind closed doors.
This has been an episode of The Perspective with Mackenzie Gooley, where we tackle three main questions. What is mental health? Why is it important? And how does it affect us in our daily lives? Thank you again to our special guest this week, Kate, who is a University of South Dakota undergraduate student. And make sure you tune in next week for another episode of The Perspective.